you responsible for his death? Something happened where he got shot. He didn't shoot himself.
Meet Joanna Quintana, a woman caught on security footage leaving the motel room where her boyfriend was later found dead. And even though she denies any responsibility for his murder,
You never mentioned a gunshot.
I didn't do a gunshot.
There's something that happened there that you're not telling me.
detectives know there's a lot she's still leaving out. Because when confronted with evidence of her crimes,
I'll show you a picture. Who's that?
That's me.
That's you.
Joanna will begin to crack, revealing a devastating story behind the murder of Kenny Rougemont.
And that's when I started coming to see black.
There's a point where enough is enough, right?
In the early morning hours of June 21st, 2021, police arrived at a Motel 6 on Albuquerque's west side, where the body of 37-year-old Kenny Rougemont had been found shot to death in a room. Inside, officers found evidence of drug use, including a glass pipe and syringes, and several empty alcoholic containers. They spoke with the witness who found the body, who said he had been in and out of the room all night using drugs with Kenny, but when he returned for the last time, he found his body lying between the two beds. Police reviewed security footage and witnessed 31-year-old Joanna Quintana quickly exit the room around 2 a.m. and leave in a gray Kia with distinguishable rims. The car was soon found abandoned in the nearby village of Picos, and Joanna was found 2 days later and brought back to Albuquerque for questioning, where detectives must decipher whether she was a helpless victim of Kenny's violence or a cold-blooded killer. The following footage was provided by the Albuquerque Police Department.
I like to treat people with respect, okay? And I hope I have not disrespected you in any way. I'm here to be fair. I'm here to listen to your side of the story, okay? So I don't like to just start off with asking questions. I like to say, Johanna, you know what? I want to know what Johanna knows. I want to know what happened to Johanna. If you can tell me what happened to your eye, anything else. I know that you were here in Albuquerque a couple of days ago. Well, Monday morning, a couple of mornings ago, okay? Sunday night into Monday morning on the 21st was the date. I know that you were here for a good part of the day, and I know where you were at. Kind of leave it at that for now, because I really want to hear from you how and what happened that day and what happened on that incident. And tell me in your own words everything you know about that.
I heard that Motel. Before I came up here, I was already gone for like a week. Kenny, it's right now. Kenny was already gone for like a week. We have been going out like 5-6 months. At the beginning, everything was like, I never thought I was so abusive and like how do I say it? Just became very possessive and so it was already like 2 months before all this. It was on and off. And that's because he kept hitting me and pointing guns at me. And even putting knives to my stomach, my throat. And every time I tried to leave, it would get bad, you know? Like really, really bad. It would get to the point where I would get thrown or choked out till he could barely even breathe. And then it became bearable too. Call me, every sorts of name could be. And like he would expect for me to tell him the truth, and I would tell him the truth about the things that he would think they were going on. Like for example, like, he thought I was always cheating, and that I was always just, talking to the people that he was around, like just trying to scam or not scam, plot on him, and it just became like that because I don't know what type of incident, like he pretty much stole something from some people, and from there it became to where I guess those people knew who took it, and it was kind of like a set of tires or whatever, and that those people knew that he took it, and some other people started getting involved, and those people started getting involved, but he didn't know how to, I guess, treat people. He'd always kind of feel like they were treating him like he was like not respectfully, I could say. Like he would always go to drastics and start saying like bad words, and instead of actually trying to fix the problem, making it a little better, like, they would always try to see like if they were always just putting him down, or and he would always make the problem worse. So at that point, he made the problem worse, and then some other situations started happening with him, and the same thing as being aggressive and treating people with disrespect. And at the place that we were living, like pretty much he made everybody move out because of the way he would talk, and I don't know how it came down to his sister texting me and telling me, tell him that he needs to leave town. He told him he needs to leave town because they're just telling me that they're gonna kill him, And at this point, like there's so many messages from his sister and his mom, and he was sleeping, and I was laying right next to him. And when I opened the phone, I started reading the messages and stuff, and then the door, there was a knock on the door, and that was his brother. He walked in, and I guess he was going through the same thing, like with his mom, and they're texting him this and that.
The defense Joanna's setting up is simple. Kenny was an abusive monster who terrorized everyone in his life. The two were known to have a volatile relationship and had broken up and gotten back together several times. The common denominator was always violence, and considering the black eye Joanna's sporting, a self-defense case isn't out of the question. The detective knows this backstory is crucial to learning how Kenny ended up dead, although Joanna very well may prove an unreliable narrator.
I want to know about the background history because a lot of that, I don't know you and I don't know Kenny. Okay? And I don't know your guys' relationship. Okay? Obviously, the incident I'm investigating is the one at the hotel.
He started getting like paranoid and stuff, and I started just live like that for like it's going almost on 2 months. And from that month, I left at least 3 times because of the same thing. Like, I left 3 times, and every time it was due because he would say that like he couldn't have any guy in a room or any of his friends in the room because he would say that I'd sleep with them or I was being a tramp or or putting me down. And it was never the case. And he was always thinking, and that's when I started realizing that he wasn't like, okay mentally. And then I was right. Like he one morning before that morning, it had already been a whole week that I had to like wake up, and like since I would wake up till we go to sleep, like the same thing. He was already to the point where he was losing it, like where we would wake up in the morning and all he did was just walk around the house, looking around. if I would be in the bathroom, like he would go like and check like at least 3 times in the bathroom. There's like a room like there's no windows, nothing. He would think I would be in there with someone or plotting on him or something. This went on like a whole week before it. It went on the whole week, and like it wasn't even to the point where he would hit me every day. Every day he would point guns at me and tell me like if I was even thinking of leaving, he was gonna put me down. So I had to try my best and try to help. And he would tell me like he would apologize, tell me like I'm sorry, like I know I'm not right, and like all these people are trying to get me. And by the time, like, why are you going against me like that? I haven't done nothing to you for you to even treat me like that. And at that point, I already felt like bad, like I wanted to leave, but like I couldn't, cause I felt like if I would leave, like he would come again for my mom or one of my boys, cause he told me a few times. And I tried helping him, and it would be like somehow it would be okay, happy. Like, and he would expect me to change the attitude just that quick after him putting hands on whatever. So I would have to change my attitude. Like nothing's wrong. And then again, like if little things didn't matter, or is it something that he didn't like, for example, he would go back to the same attitude. And then he would walk like, he needed drugs. Pretty sure he needed drugs, and he would stay up like almost the days at a time. That's when he would start seeing things. One day he told me within that week that he would see an old man and a young man, a young guy, and that they're always talking to him. And I was talking to him, and I looked at him like is it here in the south? I've always told me like to burn it down or just to kill. He's like, oh, it's not. And I just looked at him like, that's not right. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and that's the first time that he admitted that he needed help, and he told his mom this. He told him like he called him crazy doctor. I'm the crazy doctor. I can't do it no more. If you guys don't help me, I'm gonna end up hurting myself or hurting Joanna or hurting someone. Like, I can't take this. I walk around and I see shadows, and he actually really thought someone was out to get him,
Joanna paints a disturbing portrait of Kenny, who seems to have been suffering what could only be described as drug-induced psychosis. The condition may be temporary, but includes symptoms such as agitation, violence, hallucinations, and delusional thinking. It often requires management in an inpatient psychiatric hospital or other crisis intervention setting, something Kenny most certainly wasn't getting.
Every time he would shoot up meth, like, it would change him. It would change him so bad, like, I would even tell him, like, do you have to do that? Like, and every time, like, he did it, it would go back to the same thing, like, like, the moment he did it, he did so many, he even accused, like, I would send him from one picture, he would get, like, a whole story of me doing something wrong, or, so at that point, he hadn't slept for, like, 3 days, I could say, and I remember I was making pancakes, and he was in the living room, and like I said, he would walk around just with the gun, like, always with the gun. He wouldn't go anywhere without a gun.
So, Johanna, it sounds like you've had a lot of history with just everything else, verbal and physical threats and everything like that. Is that right? At any point, did you ever call police? Did you ever make any reports so I can check on those things?
No, because you're considered a rat at that point. And he would tell me that if I knew what they would do to rats. And even though, like, I went, he was, like, it was more immediately, like, towards the end, like, a lot of it, like, probably like 2 months into the relationship, but why I kept going going back. You know, I loved it when they did all these things would get better. And he would tell me, like, because he knew how bad he would be with me. And he would tell me that he was probably the only person that could handle me or even be with me for that long. Because nobody could be with me even an hour because of how disrespectful I am. You know? And he'd tell me, like, you know, I love you. And he'd, like, I would make his shots too. You know? He'd tell me, like, if you wanted to pull me back, you would. Like, or if you wanted to get me somewhere, like, you would. But I don't think like that. I don't have a man like that.
We talk to people. Obviously, we talk to people. We look at video. We find out information. Say you, however the case was.
No, like,
you borrowed a car from Ernesto. You're in his car. What time do you come down from Pecos?
Yeah, so after the 3 days when I jumped out the window, so I left. That was that whole week, and that's the week from my birthday.
Okay.
And we kept talking and kept saying, like, oh, I have so much things planned for your birthday, and this and that, but at the same time, every text that he would send would be like, you know.
19th, okay, I got you. So the 19th just passed, right? You just had a birthday, okay?
Yeah, so that whole week he kept, you know, texting me and telling me, like, you know, I have so much stuff, like, I want to spend that day for your birthday and this and that, but at the same time, he wouldn't stop with the same thing every time I come done, like, you know, you seem like you don't want to change every time that, like, I believe that you're going to change, it just gets worse and worse. I was like, to the point where you hold me with the law, and it's like, what kind of shit is that? And you tell me I don't know I'm wrong, you know. And so Friday came, and, you know, I've been at home this whole time. I don't really go out. I have 2 boys that need me, you know, and that because of all this relationship, like, it came to a point where he wouldn't even let me go see them because he thought I was gonna go in or whatever. So at that point, like, I couldn't even go over there because of that. And so every time I would leave, like, I just spend time, like, so every day with him at home and my mom, you know. And that Friday came, and he started taking me time and, like, you should come down, you know. I got plans for your birthday, and, you know, I want to spend it to you, like, I love you, and, like, I'm sorry, I know I'm difficult, and this and that. So, and then he started telling me, like, your life, and you, and, you know, I started, like, being again, like, because things wouldn't go the way he wanted, like that, instantly. So I just ignore all the text messages, like, it's just the same. I'm tired, like, it's the same. So then he came and, you know, friends found happy birthday, and, like, he called me at that was 5:30 in the morning, and I was barely getting up, and he called me and, oh, happy birthday, you know, I love you, and this and that, and, like, I was barely waking up, and I was talking, like, I was like answering as he goes, and, oh, get out of your mom, I used to be like, you over there with some guys, and then, like, I just hung up. And then he started texting me and started telling me, like, same thing. I blocked him for a few hours. And I started feeling guilty, like, you know.
Do you still have those texts on your phone?
And he tells me, oh, you're blocking me because obviously you have something better to do. And so I told him, like, things are just gonna get worse. Like, they've been getting worse. And so we, like, on Saturday, Saturday, I decided to come. So then I'm gonna call him Ernie's car, and I decided to come, you know. And we went to the room that night, but he already had some, like he said, there were homeless people there. That's when it was the first time I ever got there. And there was, like, when I went into the room, there was, like, almost 3 people on each bed, and then one sitting down, and then we just walked in. He introduced me, but like I said, I just so many names and like I never seen them before, you know.
Do you remember what time you came down Saturday?
It was already kind of late, like maybe 2, 3
In the afternoon?
in the morning.
On the morning. So Saturday morning, Saturday night into Sunday morning?
Yeah. And then I got to my came and I just thought like through the whole highway and then I was calling taxi or you were calling me taxi and like whatever like it, I was like, where am I even going? Like it's gonna get bad. Like I already know what's gonna happen. But I didn't wanna I don't know. I guess when you fall for someone, you know. And I shouldn't go. I ended up going and I just went to the room and before that he had shown me some pictures of how he wanted us to spend the day and like my birthday and stuff. And so when I got there, like he just because from the time that he texted me and was planning it, or he wanted me actually like to just think of myself and be like, I have to be by his side. Like I have to go over there, I have to be by his side. And he started telling me that. He's like, oh, well, you don't even come on Sunday night, on Friday night. You don't even think of coming home. You don't even think of me. And at times, like, do you hear yourself? It's like, look at everything that you're telling me, and it's like so hard for you to be nice. Like, oh, if you were such a liar, they had offered to go to the store for us, to the gas station, and at that point, Kenny was already kind of. I couldn't really feel like wanting to start an argument. He started telling me that I shouldn't like, what's the word that he used? Gaslight. It's a gaslight. Like kind of lying or kind of going on a circle or gaslighting.
Mm-hmm.
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting.
Yeah, he would tell me like to stop gaslighting him, to stop lying to him. That actually, if I was being or selling my body, at least I should let him in so we could rob these fools together.
Joanna describes Kenny's patterns of emotional manipulation, all of which led her back to Albuquerque to spend her birthday with him. And while she admits she knew better, she was trapped in a vicious cycle of abuse, one that would inevitably lead to tragedy. Because as she arrived at Kenny's motel room that night, she found some shady strangers waiting there with him. Unfortunately, they were about to leave her alone with Kenny, who was already reverting to his old ways. After the men left the motel to get sandwiches, he immediately began accusing her of gaslighting him, and things soon reached a boiling point.
I jumped in the shower and started showering, and he wouldn't get in, I was like, well, are you gonna get in or no? And he told me, no, I don't want sloppy seconds or something like that. I was like, oh my God, and I told him, like, oh my God, are you serious? Like, and I just took a deep breath. I was like, you know what, whatever. I'm just gonna stay quiet. And so he didn't jump in the shower or nothing. I ended up getting out, and at that point he was already like talking shit to me, I don't know what the hell I do with you. Like, I deserve it better, and I'm not. So I changed and everything, and I got all my stuff and I put it on the bed. And I remember I was picking up some colored pencil, gel pens, and then and I was picking them up like, I remember exactly what he told me. He told me, like, are you gonna talk to me? I don't know exactly. Remember exactly what he told me that then, and then I told him like, are you crazy? Are you gonna start again? And just with those words, he came around because he was standing on this side of the bed, and he was standing on the other side. And just because I said those words, like kind of in a loud voice, I could say, like he's telling me that I'm disrespecting him, like, and I'm talking to him like he's a punk.
What did you say again? That he got upset?
Huh?
What did you say that he got upset? I
told him, like, are you crazy? Like, thinking again like that, like, because he was talking about me sleeping with my stepdad. Or me sleeping with, oh my God. Like, I had already, like, 10 cheats and I didn't even know, you know? And that's another thing I told him, like, I was like, I already cheated on you 10 times. I was like, and I didn't even know about this. And you're like, you keep putting things on me and putting things on me. And like, oh, that's one thing. Why we're not, we're not together. And when he told me about my stepdad, I told him, oh, like, are you serious? Like, are you crazy by thinking like that? And he came around the bed. And he's already done, a shot and everything. And he comes around the bed and he tells me, talk to me like, and I like once I see those eyes like that, like I already know, tells me like, talk to me like come on, and I just looked at him like you just stay quiet, like I didn't want to say anything. And then, Joanna, come on, talk to me like come on, you want to talk to me like treat you like a man, and I just stay quiet. And, like, I don't want, like I told him I don't want to fight. Like, I'm not sleeping with anyone.
Where were you guys standing at that time?
We were standing like right next to each other.
But like where at?
There's a bed, then there's another bed. We're standing on another bed on the other side. Kind of by the outside or the AC.
Just so I understand exactly where it's at, I'm gonna have you just draw out the room. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. So when I told him like, are you crazy? Like thinking like that, like he walked around like that. I walked around and like he stood like right in front of me, like right there, and told me like, call me a liar again. Call me a liar again. And like he gets like, this look in his eye, like I didn't want to say anything. I was like, I'm not calling you a liar, but I'm telling you I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm not doing that. And he's lied to me one more time after I told him that I told true. Like I haven't slept with him. I wasn't calling him to get to him or partying for my birthday because he thought I was partying that Friday. So that Friday I was partying, and then I came that Saturday to, to play around with him. I don't know what the hell, like, and I told him, like, me and my stepdad have always been disrespectful. Like, that's like my dad. It's like, just because you saw an image on something that you think, that you put contrast and colors and from a little mirror on the stand, from that little glass on the stand, I guess there's reflections to the couch or whatever. He started going colors and big old story out of a picture with the stand, TV stand. And he started saying, Bill Horks. I slept with him, and because he found a number on Ernesto's phone, he thought I was using it to call him and get together, whatever. But no, Ernesto and my stepdad know each other. And, he actually started helping my parents before he stopped. He started helping me because at that time I had my second baby daddy and he was living with me. And so I didn't really pay him still.
What happened with you afterwards?
So after he starts telling me I was a liar and all this still insists that I was sleeping with my stepdad. I just told him no, I'm not sleeping with him. And from there, I remember he just got this, from me saying I'm not lying, from me telling him that I didn't sleep with my stepdad, he just throws me on the bed and just grabs me right here. And you could see I could feel the way he squeezing my throat. And then he throws me, and when he puts his hand because he already had his hand on my throat and kind of pulled me back. And at that point, he just put all his weight on me. And I remember me trying to kind of grab his hand and try to kind of put him on. And that's when I started kind of seeing black. To the point where I was already pretty much not. My hair was going out. And all I could remember was just that look on his face when I was trying to get him off. And when I looked up on him, I didn't see Kenny. I was just laying there trying to get my hair back. He just puts his hand back all he can. Just slapping me hard, really hard.
He did what?
He slaps me.
He slaps
you. Really hard. Just if he's gonna slap someone, just on your chin and on your throat. Hard. And at that point, it made a noise because it hurt, But I couldn't come back. I was barely coming back again.
Joanna claims that when Kenny found texts from her stepdad, he jumped to some wild conclusions about the nature of their relationship. But despite her insistence that she wasn't cheating on him, Kenny lashed out in the only way he knows how, with his fists. And after nearly choking her to death, he still wasn't finished.
He's like, come on, call me a liar again. And he's like, you're not going to tell me the truth, you're going to keep gaslighting like you do. And I couldn't talk or say anything, and he kept looking out the window to make sure that nobody was coming. So he turns around and gives me another one. Stabs me again, the same place. I'm just trying to... And he gets me up and starts telling me, come on, Joanna, like, I thought you wanted to treat me like I was... And I didn't say anything. And he pulls me back to the... He tries to pull me back to, like, that other bed. And then, like, he takes, like, a walk, like he just goes, like, pace back, like, 2 or 3 steps back. And then he comes back again and, like, see, this is what you do to me, like, why do you keep lying to me, like, you know? So why do you keep lying to me, like, why do you keep calling all these fools, why do you want them? He's all, don't you understand, like, all I want you is for me. And I tell him, like, I don't have any of them, like, I don't have any of them. And at that point, he tries to hug me, and like, I'm just sitting on the bed, like, on the same bed like that, because all that happened at this bed. And he tries, like, to kind of say sorry and stuff, you know. And at the time, I'm just grabbing, like, my throat, and it hurt so bad, because when you grab it, he's squeezing something inside, like, they felt it bad. And he hugged me, like, I'm sorry, like, I love you, and I don't want to lose you, but you drive me crazy every time you go. And every time you go out partying. And I looked at him and I didn't know what to say. Like, because at this point, like, I answer, I get hit. I don't answer, I still get hit. You know? So he started, like, seeing that I'm not responding and that I'm not taking his apology, and telling me, you're not going to take my apology? Like, you're not going to say anything? You're just going to say, mm-hmm. I was like, what do you want me to say? I'm barely getting back. I noticed what you just did to me. And he goes back to the same thing again. And like, we start arguing again. You know what? It's stupid. Get back to the back of the room. And that's over here to the bathroom. Like, he was trying to take me to the bathroom so he wouldn't come back to, like, so you couldn't, like, from the window to the door, you couldn't hear, like, you know, me crying or any type of yelling or anything like that, no. So at that point, like, he started, like, he's all grabbing me, like, from my hair. And he's all pushing me, like, pushing me. So I started walking to the back of the room, to the bathroom, and I saw his gun. And he was, like, kind of looking back. But he was, like, you could feel like he was, like, next to me. And when I looked back, like, I tried walking fast to try and get it. He grabs me, I get it, and I kind of point at it, but it wasn't, I guess you're supposed to, like, put it back. And I pointed and it didn't, like, I pointed and oh, you stupid. So that's when he threw me on this other bed, and that's when he punches me. He's like, you want to point a gun at me? Like, you stupid. Don't you know, like, I'll bury you alive and I'll make you disappear.
Where did he punch you? And which bed were you guys on at the time?
On this one, but on this bed. Because I kind of went fast to try and grab it.
Where was the gun at over here?
At the sink. I got a sink. There's like a big, it's like a long sink, and then the sink, and it was there. And right there, I was like, maybe, like, if I scare him off, like, I'll just get out. Like, I'll just get out, and he won't, like, because I got so scared that I almost blacked out. Like, he almost got me this time. And the last time, like, it wasn't as close, but this time he did get me. Like, I almost, like, saw black, and I thought I wasn't gonna make it. Then at that point, like I got up and I was like just like dazed and confused. Like I was like, what the hell? Like, that's when he told me like go to the back of by the bathroom. He told me go to the bathroom. But damn, I'm walking and as I'm coming back, like trying to get myself back, like I see it and yeah, sure enough, when I see it and I turn back, like, try putting it on him, like he grabs it from my hand and throws me on the bed. And, like,
So who has the gun at that time?
he does.
So after you said he punches you and you pointed to your right eye, what happens after that?
After that, he punches me and I hear the door. And he gets scared, like thinking that I heard the cops or something, because I did kind of yell. I did kind of yell. And he's all, you stupid bitch, they call the cops and and like when he thought that they had opened that there's someone that's not, my bed was there, so he kind of got up and I kind of rushed him, and that's when he kind of fell in between the two beds, and I just took off running. I just grabbed whatever was in my bag, which I had dropped so many things in there, and I grabbed my bag, and in the bag was just my keys and my cell phone, and there was Ernesto's cell phone in there too, and I just take off running from there. Well, not running, but like kind of in a fast pace. Then I just take off fast from there. And at that time, Amber was already texting me to tell him, but I never answered Amber's call, nothing.
So you said you rushed him. So you kind of lost me. You kind of either went too fast or I missed it. So you said he punches you in the right eye, and then you said you yell. He said he hears something at the door.
Like when he punched me, I yelled.
Okay.
And like he feels like someone's knocking, but it was on the top
Okay.
tier.
So does he go to what is
No,
he
he's
doing?
just like, when he punched me, he got scared and like he sees me bleeding because I started bleeding a lot from my nose and all that. And like he goes up at the time, like I don't really remember much, like I was just kind of like, because he kind of knocked me out, but I don't know why I didn't really go down. And then when he goes like to go up like that to check, because he had me like kind of like just kind of went like punch me, and I was just kind of like fighting my way out. But one of the times he just punched me, and when he punched me, I hear the noise, and I just kind of like when we were wrestling, I just kind of threw him up, and that's when I took off running, and he fell in with all the sheets and stuff like that. Because I tried to look back and see if he came, and that's when he was trying to get up, and I just kind of not fully closed the door, and that's when I kind of walking in a fast pace.
I know this is hard for you, so I'm going to give you a minute for a second. We're going to take a little break. I know we've been in for a little bit. I still want to ask you some questions, but before I ask you a bunch of questions, I want to give you a little break, okay? And let you drink some Coke. I'm gonna leave this diagram in here, just right here to the side, okay? And don't touch it because I'm gonna have you. I want to make sure I understand it right. So when I come back in, we're gonna talk a little bit more, and I'm probably gonna ask you some more questions, okay? I just need to know. I mean, this is a pretty fast evolving, kind of fast. I mean, it's slow, kind of moving up to. There's a lot of history, but then there's like a lot of things that happen there. And I want to make sure I understand them right, okay? Because I want to get your side of the story, and thank you for telling me thus far everything that you've told me, because I believe I need to know the whole truth, okay? Because I need your side, okay?
Detectives now give Joanna a break to collect her thoughts, and when they return, they'll delve deeper into the moments leading up to Kenny's death. Joanna's made it clear she was in fear for her life, but despite detectives lending a sympathetic ear, it's unclear how convinced of her story they really are, and with no living witnesses to the crime, there's crucial facts she's leaving out.
So let's pick it up right here where you pick up the gun. Tell me what happens then.
So after all that, like he said, I didn't accept his apology. That he's over here being nice and apologizing, and so that we could move on for the night and this and that. I wanted to be rude and that, but he still has the phone, the Ernesto's phone, in his hands, and at that time, like, he snapped again, and he's like, oh, if you want to keep crying and you want to accept my apology, and then he looked out again of the window and just go to the back, just go to the bathroom, just go to the back. And like I started getting up slowly, like, you know, and he like kind of grabbed, come on, and he like grabbed me and just kind of pushed me, you know. And like one of the times that I was trying to get up, like I guess it wasn't fast enough when I got up and all, and like he kind of got me from like the arm, kind of pushed me, and then like by my hair, like to just get me going faster. So like, that's when I started walking back, and I mean the room's compact.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as far, and that's when I saw the gun, and I was like, and I did think, I was like, maybe if I scare him off, you know, I could just keep open the door.
What was your intention in getting the gun?
Just to scare him off. And like I said, he's left his gun plenty of times around me. He's like taking care of his gun for him, you know. I took care of his back the same way. Like,
Are you comfortable around guns?
I never I've been around guns before, but me personally being comfortable around guns, no.
Have you ever owned one? So tell me, when you pick up the gun, what do you do?
So when I pick up the gun, I just like turn around and like I pointed at him, and like I tell him, I was like, just open the door. I remember just telling him that.
What did you tell him?
Just open the door. Oh, you want to leave me? You want to leave me? He kept saying, and oh, well, then go open it. Like, go open it, you know. But he didn't have it clocked back, or like he says one on top. That's what he knows that he has one on top. Something like back. And he didn't have it like that. So he, like, when I pointed at him and I told him, let me out, like, I just want to go. And he kept telling me, like, well, come and open it yourself, So at that point, like, I was thinking, like, I kept going, I kept telling you, like, open it.
When he punches you, what happens to the gun?
And at that point, you already, like, I let it go.
You let it go?
I let it go.
So did it?
So, I'm pointing it, he comes at me, and he's like, gonna put the gun on me, you stupid. And that's when we ended up on this bed.
Okay.
And, like, right when he throws me on the bed, and I don't want to let go, like, he punches me.
Okay.
And, he punched me so hard that I remember, like, not even know where the hell I was at. Like, I just kept looking around and around, and, like, he saw, like, all kinds of blood coming out, and, like, I guess he kind of tripped out because he never, like, taken that much blood out of me, I could say. I mean, there were slaps and bruises and black eyes.
So you're bleeding from your nose?
All in.
Okay.
And in my mouth. And so it was like a bunch of, so I thought,
how bad were you bleeding?
Not, oh my God, but I was bleeding.
Okay. Then what happens?
And, like, at that point, like, I just, like, he punched me, and then he just looking out, and then that's when, like, knock, like, if, like, you know, like, knock, but it can come from the top.
Okay.
And right there, like, when he's all looking up, that's when I, like, pushed him off, and I kind of, like, just got up, grabbing my head, and then I just grabbed my bag, I remember, and he was, like, on the floor, just struggling to get up, because I did. Sorry, but I did kind of like push him off because I kind of pushed him off me. Okay. And at that, he fell to the floor. I just grabbed it, and I remember even tripping with the wall and the door, where I didn't even know where the door was, and I just kind of not ran, but I kind of went in a fast pace.
Okay.
And at that point, I don't know, I just took off.
Where did you go from there?
I went for a little ride. I didn't know. I honestly, I didn't know where to go.
Did you pick anybody up?
No.
Do you remember where you went for a little ride? Did you go to the store? Did you?
No. I'm not very familiar with the streets, you know. But I know it was like I was coming down like.
It's okay if you can't remember. When you exited the room, were you bleeding? You said you were bleeding earlier.
Yeah, I was bleeding from my nose.
Okay.
The only place I was actually bleeding was there because he did hit me. pretty hard stuff. That's the only way I was leaving from here. Just was grabbing, and I remember going like that, but like, and I don't even know how I got in my car and drove.
Joanna claims she lost control of the gun during her struggle with Kenny and fled the room after pushing him off her. She makes no mention of anyone being shot, but considering she was caught on camera leaving the room, there's no real question as to who pulled the trigger. The only question now is why. Was she truly afraid for her life? Or was she just sick of Kenny's abuse and wanted to put an end to it once and for all?
So you describe pretty much it looks like a very violent attack. Like a very violent scene with punching, slapping, choking, where you're almost unconscious. Now, that's pretty violent. It's pretty bad.
And you know that, like, I had other violent relationships,
Okay.
And from my last one, I told myself, like, that would be the type, like, if you put a hand on me, best believe, like, I'm not gonna let myself, you're gonna get a punch. And because you lose people that you love like that, like, you don't wanna go that route. And if anything, like, my mom sat down and talked to me, and, if you love someone, you put hands on them. You try to understand them a different way.
Absolutely. And so my question to you, and I'm just trying to understand, because I've been an officer for over 18 years, okay? And I've been around on the field side of it, where I responded to a lot of calls. Females that even the worst that takes place. I mean, there's a point where it just enough is enough, right? And why didn't you call the police? I don't understand that.
Because you consider a rat.
No, it's not a rat. You're getting beaten up. The way you're describing it is you're getting violently beaten up.
Yeah, and like the last time I tried to do that, it didn't.
What do you mean?
It didn't go well.
When did you try calling?
It was way before all this. Like, he grabbed me pretty bad and threw me like across the TV. And they started choking me.
So let me ask you this: have you ever made a report on him at all? No.
But I just have pictures.
Okay.
That's it.
And pictures on what?
It comes up bruises he made me.
On your phone? Are they on your phone right now?
I don't know if most of them are in this or in my other one, but yeah.
I want to be really straightforward with you. I've listened, and I'm getting this picture of something. How you draw this altercation. The room back here. Oh, you know what I forgot? Can you just initial and put the date that you drew that for me? It's the 23rd right now. So put 6/23 and then initial it. Before I forget, I'm supposed to ask you to do that. Don't get old because you start forgetting things, right?
I forget. And
21, sorry, the year 21. And just your initials is fine. And that's just to say that you're the one that drew all this out, and I use it to help me understand what the room looks like. The altercation here, the gun here, you're walking out here, there's like a struggle of some sort. You say you push him or shove him off. You never mentioned a gunshot.
I didn't do a gunshot.
What's that?
I didn't do a gunshot.
What do you mean you didn't do a gunshot?
Like a bullet. Like how do you say it? Because I did point it, but I didn't pull the trigger, I could say.
Okay. So you understand, again, I'm being 100% honest here, okay? You understand that I've been in the same room.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that I have looked around this room and I've seen evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where's the gun? After you run out, what happens to the gun?
He has it.
He has it?
Mm-hmm. Okay. He stayed with the gun.
Okay. What was his position when you left? Where was he at?
Like, I really don't, like, I got my stuff, and when I opened the door and looked back, he was on the floor.
He was on the floor where?
He was just struggling between.
What do you mean? He was in a struggle, or you were in a struggle?
No, he was, because there was a bunch of sheets and stuff, and when I pushed him off, when he punched me, when this hand he has some sheets like wrapped on him. So when I pushed him and he fell on the floor, there's some sheets with him. He was trying to get like off of it and stand up. And at that point I just ran. That's all I saw. That was the last thing I saw. And I just took off and I didn't really look back.
Do you know what happened to Kenny?
No.
Are you responsible for his death?
No. I don't know what happened. I kept texting him and calling him the next day, and
he doesn't have a phone.
Yeah, but that's like all day long. I thought he could find something. He could find his phone. He kept looking for his phone.
Okay.
And I texted Amber, the girl that was with him.
All right. So
I found out, or even had a clue of any of this through a lady that lives in Pecos.
What's her name?
They told her Lupe. They called me and told me, like, do you know what happened to Kenny?
And what did you say?
No, I was like, what happened? Like, what's going on? And at that point, I just felt my stomach dropped. Like, what happened? Like, what is it?
So you got to understand where I'm at, and I'm trying to believe you, and I want to believe you. But you have to understand that I'm in a position right now where you're mentioning nothing but a gunshot, and the only way he would have been shot is by somebody else shooting him.
Mm-hmm.
And you've already told me that you pointed the gun. I know you said you didn't shoot him, and I, kind of believe that. But I have a problem with what happened here because something happened where he got shot. He didn't shoot himself. I know. So somebody had to have shot him. And you were the last one. And I don't want to start showing you pictures or video because when you leave the room, your face is not bloody. And it doesn't even, I can't tell, obviously, but you don't really see any kind of injury to your eye, okay? I don't see no injuries to your neck. Again, I'm not saying you're lying, okay? I'm trying to be very fair here, okay? But what I need to do is I need to verify some of this information, and I need to know the truth, though, because you you tell me everything else that you've told me, and you've talked to me about a whole lot of history in detail, and then we get to this little part, like right at the end, like I rushed him and I ran out. There's something that happened there that you're not telling me.
While Joanna claims to have had no idea that Kenny was even shot, the detective is clearly skeptical. And considering the bombshell he just dropped, he has every reason to be. Because despite Joanna claiming to have been bloodied and bruised by Kenny, the video evidence fails to back it up. But now that she's been called out on her half-truths and obfuscations, will we finally hear what really happened?
I need to know the truth because if I'm going to present this to the district attorney's office, they're going to ask me, what do you think? Was she forthcoming? I said, she told me a lot of history and she told me a lot of things that happened that night. Very violent attack, but yet she didn't call police. Yet I don't know if anybody's seen you right after to see these injuries, to verify the injuries. I don't know any of those things. When you take the car back to Ernesto, you drop it off across the street instead of taking it to Ernesto. When was the last time you got arrested? In March?
Yeah, in March.
And what name did you give the officer? And what did you get booked under?
I give him Jasmine.
Jasmine. Is that your name?
No.
So who's Jasmine?
I just made it up.
You made it up. So I want to believe you, right? I don't want to. I'll never sit here and say you're a liar because I don't believe in that. Okay, I want to believe you, but what is that going to look like to a jury and everything else when I get this case and I say, look, she is known to lie. She even lied about her identification. She got booked under a false name, Jasmine Chavez Hernandez, with your picture, but different booking. Okay? How much can we believe you? So help me understand how that gunshot went off.
I don't know what gunshot. I never pulled the trigger on anything.
Okay, so where's the gun?
I don't know. He stayed with it.
Okay. So, again, my experience in it, say, for instance, if we were to entertain that thought that he shot himself, the gun itself would still be there. There is no gun.
I never took no gun with me. No gun ever had left with me.
You had
When
to go back
when I left that room,
you weren't bleeding.
I left Kenny okay. We were fighting, but I left him okay.
Nobody else went into that room until they called for police. I'll show you a picture. Who is that?
That's me.
That's you. Now look closely. Do you see any blood on there?
You can't see it, but how did I get this?
Well, how did you get what?
This.
I don't know. That's why I'm trying to understand that. I'm trying to even.
And I could get like people that saw me right after.
Okay, who's that?
Like the people I told you and.
Or what are their names? I mean, I need to verify that. And at this point I'm trying to help you out. Okay? Because there's something that happened here, that the gunshot went off, that Kenny gets killed, and you're the last one in the room with him. You guys are in a violent confrontation. You got this gun, you say you pointed the gun at him. How am I supposed to understand that? And how are we gonna go before a jury and say, you know what? This is what happened. I'm trying to understand that. If you can tell me some names that I can verify, not Lupe from, obviously that's where you learned that he was dead, but something. Did you take pictures of yourself?
Not until yesterday.
Answer me this question. So why is it that I'm getting information from the state police officers that you mentioned to your mom, to Ernesto, that you're involved in a shooting in Albuquerque?
I never even told any of them. That's why my mom was even telling me about it. I was like, when did I even tell you that? And Ernesto is like, he's always making up like random things.
He's not making this up because it happened. I see you running from the room.
Yeah, and I ran because of the same thing. I wouldn't just stay in the same room getting beat and doing the same thing.
No, I wouldn't want you to do that. I'm not saying that you should do that. No one deserves that. And you should never even been around this once, much less twice or 3 times or however many times you say it happened in the last 6 months. I got 4 girls. I would never want my girls to be in a relationship. Right? So I understand that.
My mom never showed me to be in one either.
Okay. So for me to understand all of this that's happening, and then to have a gun missing from the scene, no phones on the scene, it's just, that's very odd.
Mm-hmm. And they understand it.
Okay. So.
But the only phones that were there is mine and Ernesto's in it. That phone was never working. And that I did take those, but the gun, I don't know. I didn't take the gun. But I did take the 2 phones.
So at any point in this struggle, do you believe the gun went off?
No.
No?
I don't. No. Just like he always, he wasn't clock back, nothing. Because when one of the times I pressed it and it didn't go off, nothing. And that's when he got on top of me and punched me and, you know what I mean? Like I'm telling you.
So how does he end up dead?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No.
And I've been very fair to you, Johanna. I'm trying to understand your side of the story. Okay? Because I always believe that there's 2 sides of the story.
Mm-hmm.
But you went very detailed around everything else except for this last little part when something happened. Mm-hmm. And there's just no way that, somebody's going to shoot themselves and then the gun's going to disappear on its own.
You understand?
So you're willing to face the charges instead of just telling me the truth of what happened?
The gun went off, but I didn't mean to. That's when he started hitting me. I didn't point at him, nothing, he was right on top of me hitting him. And the reason why I say it is because he told me that if anything ever happens to him and they knew who did it, they were going to go after the family. And I'm afraid for my mom and my kids because I know I want to try and try and do something. But I love Kenny a lot. It took so much of that was an accident. It was an accident. I don't want to face so many years for something I didn't mean to do.
Joanna finally tells the truth, or at least a version that may not send her away for the rest of her life. She claims the gun went off during the struggle, and shooting Kenny was simply a tragic accident. Her gamble would pay off. Despite being charged with murder and tampering with evidence, Joanna Quintana was sentenced to just 10 years in prison.